Hello everyone, this is the Shouted One once again with another video. This is going to be part 3 out of 4 or 5 of a series of videos exposing how FERLOCOSTARS cheats on the mercenaries mode of Resident Evil 5. Like I always say, I will always say, I wasn't planning on doing this kind of videos, exposing players and such. I don't really condone this kind of behavior. However, FERLOCO's behavior towards many players in the community and towards the game itself made me want to step in and clear things up, make things right, not just for me. Now, I was fortunate enough I had someone get the file, the modified file for one of the stages coming from the main source, which is FERLOCO. I will provide right now proof of that in Facebook Messenger chat or conversation done between these two individuals. Now, as you can see in this conversation, he's providing a download link for the main file. That file and extension is for a stage file in the native PC folder for the installed Resident Evil 5 game on the PC. Now, this person's identity will remain anonymous until next video, in which there will be a full, detailed and final explanation to close this entire ordeal. But for the time being, and just to be enough information for you all, this person was being blackmailed by Fernando himself. In order to get what he wanted, he would send those faulty modified files. So without further ado, let's switch over to the computer and see what this modified file is all about. Now, this file in particular has a modified spawn for this prison stage in the regular mercenaries mode. I will be showing you exactly where the modified spawn is, so you have an idea, and then we'll switch on to me showing you the both different spawns with the modified file and with the main pre-installed file you get when you install the game right off the bat. Now, this is not going to be the final video. Besides, I began the game in the wrong side. In the main demonstration, I'm going to start in the platform upstairs because you are near the closest spawn areas for the enemies. This is just to show you the two places we need to look after and for you to realize how fucked the spawn is. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that when you begin the game, there's a certain amount of enemies. Usually goes between 10 or 11 enemies on the map at the same time. So that means you can't have any more enemies spawning when the game begins. You have to start killing enemies in order for the next row to appear, as you can see on both the platform near the door and the other small house near the stairs. Those are the two places we need to be aware of, and those are the places we're going to be looking at very shortly. So welcome once again to Shitty Voiceover, or www.shittyvoiceover.com. So right here I'm a bit struggling because my brain was not working, didn't want to cooperate, but I'll eventually get there. I have that folder with the modified file. Now I'm trying to go and find the native PC on my computer. You just go to where you have the game installed. And it will open up eventually. There we go. You have to go to image, if I'm not mistaken. And in the first file, you should come up with all the stage files and other files which I don't really know what they do. Right here I'm just checking if the file exists in order to replace it, and also in order to back up the file. Just leaving the original file on the desktop. And now, since we copied the file, just need to go back to the modified file, drag that into the folder, replace file and destination, and we're all set. Okay, so here we are starting the game. You may hear a bit of noise in the background. I wasn't aware that my voice was being recorded, so you're listening to me speaking in Spanish. I was talking to my partner on the phone, and he was explaining to me if what I was seeing was normal or not. So here we are starting the game. We began where we're supposed to begin. Just for making things easier, you can see that we have a big Magini, which, I mean, they appear randomly. However, you have to kill one enemy. We didn't kill anyone back then, so that's another mistake in this mod. Again, no kills, and we have another enemy that spawns. I'm doing this a couple of times just to show you this is not a random spawn. Here we have on the upper small house this time. And I think this is going to be the last, the final time we play. Again, another enemy spawned there. Without any kills. So that's the thing. Like I said, there's a certain amount of enemies, and there can't be any more enemies spawning until you begin killing. So now what I'm doing is copying and replacing the modified file with the original file, so I can show you the difference. And this is what the beginning should look like. No enemies spawning on either of those locations. We haven't started the combo chain, so there are no enemies. That enemy can appear from the door, but he was already spawned in place. You can see there are no enemies spawning in any of those locations, like I said before. This is what the beginning should look like. I think we're going to do that 2 more times, and yeah. We can't stress this enough. This is what it should look like. No enemy spawning from either of those places. In this part it looked like he spawned from up there, but he came from the door. What I'm saying is I want to restart and show again that he came through the door and not jumped down from the small bridge up there. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much it from this file in particular. This is what most of his mods do. Now keep in mind there are many other ways in which you can modify, not just exactly like this. So that's why this is difficult to tell if the spawn is modified. But there are certain things that if you know the stage well enough, you can easily notice and be aware of the player you're playing with. So yeah, that's it for this part. Yeah, I wanted to show that many times because I was paranoid. But yeah, again, that's what a beginning should look like. Now that was quite the run, wasn't it? Now before we continue with the next clip, I would like to thank you in advance for watching this video and for staying up to this part. It really means a lot, and this is just with the intention of keeping this whole community game friendly and, you know, maintaining a healthy competition in between players. Now the following clip, I'm going to show you the person who sent me this clip would like to remain anonymous. However, he's a pro player and he explained to me the order of the spawn, because I don't really know well enough the spawn of the enemies in Reunion. However, but I was told by many pro friends how it works, so this should be covered well enough. However, if you are a Reunion player and you noticed many more things than I could have noticed in here, please feel free to leave a comment down below and explain if there's anything else that was modified.
Incredible! I can't believe the two of you did all that.
So, here we're in the second clip. The first thing we need to focus on are the big Magini. Again, kind of like in the first video. As far as I'm told, they can spawn at about 100, 102, 106 combo or later, never earlier. Perhaps in one run out of 10 they can spawn at 100 combo, but never between 70 and 90 combo. I've had friends happen this to myself, that perhaps in between 98 and 102 they could spawn as well. But again, not between 70 and 90. That could happen, however, if you're playing solo. But because of the position you're playing, that's a different thing. But in duo, between 70 and 90 combo, it's impossible you can get a big Magini. Apart from that, you can see that in the clip, the player in question has a lot of enemies around him. Which, again, there can't be more than 10 enemies overall spawn at the same time. Again, depending on the connection and the behavior of the Magini, perhaps big Magini can spawn at 115, 120, depending on how bad or how good the connection is and how aggressive the Magini are. Also, one Duvalia Magini in particular, which was the woman with the shovel on the left hand, she never appears before the 100, 110. Usually from 115 to 145 we're free to go for them to appear, as well as the agitator Magini and the blonde cephalo Magini, the blonde cephalo girl. They can the three of them can appear between that combo, never earlier. In the case of the Duvalia woman, she spawned at about 90 combo, which was super earlier. Again, like I said, I'm no expert in Reunion, but these are the things a few pro friends of mine pointed out as red flags to be aware of. If any of you watching this video would like to point out anything I may have missed, again, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to share this and spread the word about different hacks and mods that people do that make competition a bit hard and overall make the community toxic. So my objective here is to get rid of any toxic players that could harm the entire game and the community, because we need to keep this a healthy competition, folks. Remember, I won't bother you any longer with this. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.